Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our third and final adventure of the night, one which I'm entitled, Please Remain Seated. I'm excited to get into it, but of course, as always, before we do so, we're going to take a brief moment and introduce our heroes. So, without further ado, let's get into it. First up we have joining us tonight is Frostbyte. Good evening, Frostbyte.
Hello.
Tell me, Frostbyte, so, how have you been? I feel like it's been some while since we've seen you throughout the land of DnDTime, perhaps because the lands of DnDTime have been really peaceful for the last few weeks or so. But how have you been, Frostbite?
I've been fairly well. I mean, this time of year, most of my kind tend to hibernate during the winter months. So,
I imagine many of your kind find the winter months a little bit difficult. You, Frostbite, is this like your preferred time of year? Is someone so attuned with the elements of ice?
it doesn't bother me as much as other members of my kind, I will admit. But I wouldn't say it tends to be rather slow for me, though. So, you know.
I was gonna say, how busy have you been in your work as a private contractor?
Busier. Well, I have been a bit busier in the lands of DnDTime, but
just not adventuring with Bartholomew's troops for the last couple of
yes,
weeks.
Yes.
Well, Frostbite, I'm glad to hear that business remains ever good for you. I imagine your profession is one that's needed all year round.
Well, it's requested all year round,
Yes.
but you'd be surprised how popular it is right before holidays.
You know, I wish you the best of luck in your adventure today, and welcome back. It's good to be adventuring with you once more. And next, we have joining us Droglar BrightzFist. Welcome, Droglar.
Hey there, Pete.
Now, tell me, Droglar, have you had an opportunity to step into the adventuring fields since becoming a Fabled Tier adventurer?
A bit here and there. My last excursion, I ended up getting killed by a dragon. Now that's a rush.
Yes. Droglar, how has this kind of lull in activity been for you here in the lands of DnDTime?
I mean, it always gets a bit slow this season. Usually just spend it at the last hope. Occasional job comes up, and, well, that hopefully will last me through the lull in the season.
Well, it looks like as winter is leaving its kind of darkest days, hopefully things will be picking up for you once again, Droglar. Perhaps this is a sign of things to come.
Sounds like my luck's finally turning around.
Indeed.
I'll get enough Bartholomew books to pay off my card debt, and hell, probably put down a few more cards.
Guard debt, you say? You've accrued some type of debt?
Nothing like that. Just cards, passing time in the last hope.
I thought you said guard debt, card debts. There's a big difference there. Droglar, I'm sure you'll make more than enough money to pay off whatever gambling debts you've accrued, unless I've underestimated how much you gamble.
Well, I'll drink to that.
Very good. Next up, we have joining us, I imagine another individual, not quite as much of a fan of these darker winter days. We have Sunny, the sun's radiance, with us once more. Good evening, Sunny.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
I'm doing quite well, and you?
It's kind of cold, a little bit.
Yeah, it's still chilly outside. Tell me, Sunny, how have you been? What have you been up to?
Good, I guess.
Anything new in your domain?
Well, we've been trying to kind of keep warm, so, you know.
Yeah, best you can. You got to stay ahead of those winter chills. Sunny, have you recruited any new members into your kingdom as of late, or have things just been? Are you just kind of in total hibernation mode right now?
Oh, it's been hibernation mode for sure. We've been having to burn a lot more, to keep warm.
Yeah, I imagine. I imagine having Sunny, you there around the kingdom is really helpful for overall warmth.
Yes, that's right. I have just a warm personality.
That's
So
true.
nice.
Always so pleasant, Sunny. It's good to have you back tonight. You've your voice has brought a smile to my face. And of course, last but not least, Lana Coheir is with us. Good evening, Lana.
Hello.
Tell me, Lana, what's new with you? What have you been up to?
Not a whole lot. Enjoying the colder.
This is a time of year that you sort of prefer, you would say?
Well, I've got all this heavy fur, but the only thing I don't like is getting my hooves stuck in.
Yeah, that's fair. I imagine it's actually, with all that fur, it must be kind of hot in the summer sometimes.
And it stinks whenever you get wet.
Oh yeah. These are the problems, I suppose. Did you get to spend any good time with your family, Lana, over the break?
Some with my son, but that's bad.
Mm-hmm. That's always it's always important. Lana, of course, I assume that the reason you adventure is to, help out your son and just as a source of income, right? What's your kind of goal out here in the lands of DnDTime, Lana?
Honestly, I don't really have one.
Just perhaps seeking to find one along the way.
Well, outside of taking care of my son, I don't really have much of a goal. I just have a bit of an adventurous streak, I guess.
I mean, certainly this is the right home for you if you have one of those. And that particular streak has brought you today, under Bartholomew's request, to the Sacred Vale, a region, specifically the Academy of Light, where as you all kind of arrive on campus, you can see a number of students kind of walking about and going about their day, but there is a bit of a nervous energy to the space. And from Bartholomew's instructions and what he told you about it, some type of curse has been inflicted upon the whole of the Academy of Light, and many of the clerics here are having a hard time dealing with this. And as you all approach, you can see a girl walking towards you. She appears to be walking in a very kind of funny way, and as she gets closer and closer, you can see that she's kind of like crouched down in almost a squat, and she has a chair that's just stuck to her. It looks like maybe she was glued to it and she's trying to walk while having this chair stuck to her back. And she looks over at all of you as you come in and goes, "Good morning, all of you. Welcome. I'm the Student Council President here at the Academy of Light. My name is Brenda, and it's nice to see all of you. It's nice to see all of you tonight. We have a bit of a situation here. I've been asked to escort you directly to the Dean's office."
You look like a snail with that chair stuck to your back.
Yes, an unfortunate situation that we're finding ourselves here in at the Academy, but we're going to do everything we can to overcome it and adapt to it, much like we always do here at the Academy. So, if you don't mind, it's a bit difficult to walk like this. I'd like to get moving so I can go back to sitting down.
Perhaps one of us could carry you on the chair? I mean, in a way that's more comfortable for you and you can just point the way.
I wouldn't want to impose upon any of you, but she looks like she might want to impose upon you.
I always throw over my shoulder.
All right, yeah, you just reach down and pick up and just take the chair and hold it so that she's just sitting up. Just, whoa! Oh, thank you so much. All right, yeah, it's this way. This has been can I be frank with you for a moment?
No, I think your name was, I forget your name. Brenda. Yeah, you can't be Frank, you're Brenda.
That's a pretty good joke, but I was just going to say, this has been a real nightmare. Been a long day, and I'm a little bit stressed out. Finals aren't that far away right now, and it's been a lot to handle, because...
you don't want to your clothes trying to get out of the chair. I imagine.
Everyone
Or-
who sits down here at the Academy of Light in the last, I think it's been 14 hours now, has become stuck to whatever chair that they were sitting on. Honestly, I have it pretty good. Some people are at the cafeteria tables, which are set to the floor. The dean's chair is actually built into the floor. That's why we're going to his office.
So, does this affect chairs that have been brought in, or just as well, or just chairs at the academy?
Once people have found out, they've sort of stopped experimenting. I know a lot of people, I don't know if anyone's taken the opportunity to lay down yet, but a lot of people have been afraid of that too.
Well, I have a chair with me. We can test this out right now. It's the thinking chair.
I feel like you don't want to put yourself into a chair right now because you'll probably get stuck to it. If you want to test it,
Well, it's a magic chair, so maybe who knows?
all
What
right.
if we sit on the ground since there's no chair to get stuck to?
Yeah, people haven't been doing that because they're afraid, but if you want to try that out too, I'm sure there's some people that would appreciate it, but if you get stuck to the ground, we can't bring you into the dean's office, so we'll have to like convey messages. I don't think you'll be very useful. As
It's
it
Put
okay.
a piece of cloth or something under you so you don't get stuck to the chair.
You could try that too. Again, most people aren't looking to take those kind of risks, but if you are, then maybe that'll help us get to the bottom of this in some way. Would you like to meet with the dean first?
Sure, why not?
All right. And while you've been having this conversation, she's been kind of guiding you and telling you which hallways to go down. And you are just outside of the dean's office now, and there's kind of like a big double door. And Brenda kind of kicks up with her foot and knocks on it a couple of times, and just they're here. And a voice from inside, good. Send them right in. And you see from the other side, the door just kind of blows open suddenly as the dean kind of thaumaturgies it open from the other side. You see him with his hand out, and he's just sitting there at his desk in a very beautifully carved wooden chair that he's seated in now. And he looks over the group of all of you. Please come in. There are 4 chairs across from the desk, empty. Brenda says, if you could just put me down outside somewhere, I'll just be out here.
All
I
right.
set her down outside the door.
Thank you very
Frostbyte
much
sits
for carrying
his
me.
thinking chair and sits in it.
All right. You sit down in your chair, and as you go to do that, the dean just kind of holds out his hands and goes, no! Do you just do it anyway?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, it's my thinking chair.
All right, you sit down, and the dean goes, you fool. Every chair here has been cursed, and
Well, I bought this chair from outside, so maybe it's not cursed.
there's only one way to find out, I suppose.
Yeah.
You stand up?
Sure.
All right, the chair sticks to your butt. You now have a chair that is irrevocably
I'm
glued
stuck
to you.
to a magical chair.
He
Could be
goes,
worse.
It could be worse. He looks at you and goes, it is, this may make your upcoming trial more difficult. I need the 4 of you to go and deal with the only possible source of this problem. As many of you may know, here within the Sacred Vale, a number of gods and goddesses, lesser known renown, and fewer worshippers. One of these goddesses is of the chaotic level of chair relax. She has to be responsible for this phenomenon. Only a god could manifest power on so many chairs across so much space.
Ah, makes sense.
And he kind of continues, Sid and I have had issues in the past. I do love wood carving, and I have built I've built chairs before, and I've felt the power of Sid move through me. And while I have resisted the temptation, perhaps it is her anger that has caused this, this calamity in our midst. Whatever it may be, she resides in the forest not far from here. There she has carved herself a great throne upon which she, I believe, never leaves. Go to her now and, entreat her to break this terrible curse that she has put upon our students here.
I guess we don't have much of a choice.
That's what I'm hiring you for. If you have a recommendation other than that, by all means.
Oh, I have one. You should destroy all the chairs. Makes sense.
Ah, yes.
Well, the other choice would be to kill her.
Oh, you won't be able to do that. She is a literal goddess. Sit, the lesser goddess of chairs and like relaxation. Are you not familiar?
Well,
That one does seem a
possible
little
to kill a god.
obscure.
You just have to get somebody to fill their place.
If you want to try and kill Sid,
I'm just saying that it's not a very smart option, but it is an option.
If that's where things take you, then you have Bartholomew's pseudo-immortality, so you will likely need to use that, but you'll be okay in the short run.
Yes, but we'll try to get you to lift the curse, though, rather than before trying to kill her.
That seems like a wiser plan of action. I would caution you one more time against two things. One, sitting down, as your friend here has done, and two, attempting to fight a god.
Well, I can't fight very well from this chair now, can I?
That is also true. It seems that you have a stake in this now.
Yes, but on the bright side, it's also a magic chair that helps me think, so...
Very well. I would offer to help you, but... And he kind of just points down to his chair. Also, as you mentioned, destroying the chairs. We've actually been attempting to destroy those chairs and dispel the magic. It seems that the chairs, once sat in, are magically protected. You can destroy them before someone sits down in them, but not after.
Okay. How about these chairs? Can I destroy them?
Yes, please do.
Okay.
I wouldn't want anyone to come in and risk sitting down.
What about chairs that are stuck to the ground? Could we just destroy the ground around the chair?
To break the chair, and then you could then move them, I suppose, move someone seated in this way by ripping out the ground and moving the whole ground. It's not the best situation, but if you are unsuccessful, that may be what we have to do with me.
And the students in the cafeteria as well.
Cafeteria students, there's quite a few.
What about the tables? But the chairs are connected. If a chair is connected to the table...
The tables are fine. The tables fall under the domain of tablos. They are not a threat.
Wait, what if someone sat on a table?
Unclear.
Well, I think a table would count more as a stool than a chair.
Who could say? Her powers and the range of her strength is wide.
Wait, here's a question. What if somebody sits in a stool? A stool is not a... Oh.
You know why I think that it would fall into that category? Is because, please repeat your sentence.
Well, what happened if somebody sat on a stool?
Exactly. You use the name of the goddess in your sentence, which makes me think that it might also apply.
Wait, what?
Her name is literally Sit. She invented sitting, from what I understand.
What if you kneel?
I feel like you're getting into semantics that aren't going to help you in the grand scheme of things now.
Okay, let's go.
So as long as people don't sit, they're fine.
Yes, we've been instructing people to remain standing as long as their legs can bear until this is straightened out.
Unless they need to lay down.
Are you destroying chairs?
Well, if they're laying down, they're not sitting.
Good. The dean looks over to you. Good work. If they're laying down, they're not sitting. Yes, this is a gray area that we haven't tested, but no one wants to.
Well, as long as they kneel, then get on their belly, then lay flat, they should be fine. As long as they don't do anything that requires them, as long as they don't actually sit, they should be fine.
Again, we don't wish to take a sacrifice to test that out. Mostly we're instructing students that can still walk. Some are choosing bravely to remain as volunteers, but many are fleeing. Hopefully, I mean, I assume not everyone in the world is stuck, so it may be a regional at least.
That makes sense. Also, if they aren't sitting or kneeling, they should be groveling. That was a good idea.
Here's a better question. What did you do to piss off this goddess?
I don't know. Last time we've encountered this goddess before, and last time I was building a chair, and, well, I destroyed it when I was done in that enraged sit. I don't know what I've done this time, frankly.
Which means you do. So I guess we better go ask Sit.
And he kind of nods. Best of luck, and if you don't mind, could you pass me, and he kind of points over to the side, could you pass me that pitcher of water?
Okay, let's do it.
All right, do you pass him the pitcher of water?
Yes.
That was very nice of you. All right, you hand it over. He says, thank you, and Godspeed to you, adventurers. Yeah, and you guys kind of step out, and Brenda kind of stands back up awkwardly with the chair connected to her and goes, all right then. I was told to, once we were all set, to lead you over to the forest, and I will do that now. Sit is just along the path. We usually kind of, we would call that part of the forest usually off limits for students, but she's not particularly hard to find. She doesn't move from her seat. So she gestures kind of along the way after leading you a little bit across campus. Lana, do you carry her again?
Yes.
It's nice of you. And
Frostbyte just kind of spider walks.
Oh yeah, you're in a terrible. I forgot that you're now also in the can't really walk that well.
Yeah,
you're essentially at half speed right now.
He just spider walks.
Moving along the way, and
unless Frostbite objects, Droglar will carry him like a football under an arm.
Okay.
All right. And Droglar, you begin to carry Frostbite. Once you get to the edge, Lana Brenda asks to be put down and just points you along kind of a twisting path into the woods beyond. And
Thank you.
Best of luck. Please save us from this. I don't want to spend the rest of my life stuck to a chair. And
You could always
You
say
probably have to go to the bathroom, Bill.
I guess I could learn the levitation spell and switch from being a cleric to a wizard, but that's not really the path that I had in mind for myself in life, so all haste.
Oh, man.
I feel bad for the guy in the chamber. Ooh.
Yeah,
Really?
boss,
I
man, we
think-
probably shouldn't have given the water. It's only going to exacerbate that issue.
Oh dear. And as you have this thought, there's just a quick smash cut to the dean's office where you see the dean's just kind of taking a drink, and then all of a sudden his eyes just widen. We smash cut back, and Droglar, you begin leading the path with Frostbite under your arm.
Indeed.
The forest.
I have to say, I think anybody who was on the chamber part, the circular chamber part, might actually be the most beneficial.
I would say they're the lucky ones.
Yes, they are the lucky.
Until somebody takes them over.
Well, hopefully it's connected to the ground and they can't, but these are the questions that these are the kind of questions that one must ask oneself. as you continue along the path, Droglar, what are all of your passive perceptions?
13.
Also 13.
11.
All right. As you're looking about, one thing that you're starting to notice as you continue through this woods, there are individuals that could only be described as cultists around. And you notice them kind of like watching you from a distance as they come. Some of them are seated in, you can see like kind of in the distance between the trees. There are a lot of trees here that have been like cut down and carved so that they are natural chairs that are just kind of like dotted throughout the woods. And you can see there are a couple of like black robed figures that are sitting in these chairs at different points. And also some that are just kind of like walking between the trees, watching you guys from a distance as you walk down the path.
Oh, hey, how's it going? Hi.
As you kind of pass by, one of these cultists, you kind of continue along the path, and there's one that's situated relatively near to the road, and you give this the path. You give this greeting. Oh, hi, and the cultist responds, "Hello. Why don't you take a load off?" And gestures to his side to
I'm
a
already
chair.
sitting, thank you.
And he kind of looks to you, and as he looks at you, Frostbyte, he goes, "Ah, brother," and bows his head kind of towards you in a gesture of respect.
Well, I'm not even a person. I'm a plant. So, bye.
If you work too hard, life will catch up with you, you know. And you kind of continue with a strangely pleasant but ominously spoken bit of advice. And as you continue onwards into the forest, you can see more of these individuals gathered. And at the clearing that you eventually arrive into, you can see what looks like a dark-haired woman. She is relatively large of size. She's not proportioned like a giant would be with kind of like broad shoulders. She's proportioned more like a human, but is just maybe twice as big as the average human. And she is seated kind of very lazily and jauntily on a large kind of what looks like ebony, beautifully crafted throne. There are intricate in language all about kind of carved into the chair. And she leaned over to her side, her leg hanging off at a funny angle. She is the absolute picture of relaxation as you walk into this grove. And she looks at the view. And as she does, just three chairs kind of emerge from the ground with a wave of her hand in front of her, and she speaks up to you. "Please, be seated."
No, thanks.
"All right. Have it your way. So, welcome. You stand before Sid, the goddess of chairs and light relaxation, master of the short rest. What can I do for all of you?"
I'll just make a gesture at Frostbite stuck in the... Could you, like, stop?
"Oh!" She looks kind of down towards Frostbite. "I mean, you at least. You should take a seat, please. It's honestly, it's bothering me just seeing you kind of trying to stand up with that thing. You're not going
I'm
anywhere as
already
it
sitting,
is."
thank you.
"Oh, wonderful. No." She looks back at you, Droglar. "No."
Okay. Oh, do you like these chairs, by the way? They look very nice.
Which chairs are you gesturing to?
The ones that she just made?
Yes, I made them myself. I think they're quite
That's
lovely.
nice. I'm just gonna make bees just appear over me and just walk by them.
All right. You make a bunch of bees appear over you and walk by the chairs. The chairs don't take poison damage.
Oh no! That's terrible.
Were you trying to destroy the chairs, or are you just kind of like threateningly walking by with bees?
Threateningly walking by
Okay.
with me.
She kind of watches you move by the chairs, and she goes, "Do those hurt you? Do you not get stung by all of those?"
No, I don't. They're very nice and pleasant.
Oh,
They pollinate it.
to each their own.
There.
So,
Which are you exactly?
me? What am I?
No, the plants.
Oh, please talk amongst yourself.
Oh, I'm a flower, a sunflower who's pretty.
So you're everything. Oh, so you're both. He and him. Her.
I don't know what she is. She just seems like a meanie.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sure she's quite potent, actually. I mean, she is the goddess of the short rest.
I like to think I'm rather pleasant.
Okay. Stop making people stick to chairs, or the chairs get it.
You can't-
I don't think she. It's possible she's not responsible for this curse. I mean,
Oh,
the
no,
people
I
have
did
been
that.
sitting for a long time. I mean,
I most absolutely did do that. You see, I like to sit here, and I don't have a lot of range of view, and I've been trying to put together followers, but not a lot of people. It's hard to find. My particular tastes can be unpleasant to some, and the truly dedicated, and I have a history of dropping chairs on followers who don't know. There's a lot of semantics, but basically I don't have a lot of followers, so I'm kind of bored. I don't have a lot of extension with my power. And one of the only places I can see is the Academy of Light, and what accompanies...
Take that chair.
Sonny, calm down.
You blow up a chair. She goes, "No! My chair! I'll make another one! I'm the lesser goddess of chairs. I can make any more chairs than you could possibly ever destroy. What are you doing?"
Sid, I know this might sound a bit
Yeah, but the
odd,
bottom
but
line is, bored. It seemed fun.
perhaps you could find another sphere of influence to oversee rather than simply chairs. I mean,
Oh, my domain? I'm very comfortable with what I do. Chairs, light relaxation, sitting. Have you ever sat down before? Obviously you have.
yes.
The rest of you, have you ever sat?
I mean, everybody
Not
has
yet.
at some point.
You're all welcome.
It's just that you're also a goddess of relaxation, correct?
Light relaxation. Nothing like big long naps. Maybe like 20 minutes
you're
on
the
an
goddess
easy
of light
Sunday.
Yes, but the people at the Academy of Light don't find being stuck to their chairs relaxing.
Oh, I'm
If
aware of
anything,
this.
It's doing quite the opposite. In fact, it's causing great distress.
Yes, fully aware of this. Worship me anyway, because I am, by all definitions, and I realize this about myself, I am evil. I get quite a few more people from the Academy of Light. This actually plays very well on their market.
What if we moved you to a more interesting place where people would be more receptive to your
Move. You have to be
influence.
kidding me.
without getting you out of your chair?
I don't think that will do.
I mean, have you heard of the Academy of Light? I mean, they hate the
No,
Academy.
yes, absolutely.
And,
like I
and
said,
everybody, if I
they
recall,
love it
people
when I
there are
mess with-
evil.
They love
Okay.
it when I mess with the Academy of Light. This is actually going to be quite a draw for them.
Wait, you said
But
you're
you're
doing
one-
this because you're bored, right?
If you're interested in becoming disciples, well, that would perhaps expand my sphere a little bit, and then we could work something out that way.
So what you're saying is, if we become disciples of you, you'd be willing to lift the curse.
Yes, certainly.
I can't do that. Sorry.
Do you have like a pamphlet?
Um,
What if we
Mm.
find you some
I
new followers?
I'll settle for one of. I have, well, I have a trial, and none of my cultists like doing the trial anymore. I think they're a bit nervous about it, but if you'd like to do the trial, well, to become a full-fledged member. I'll let you all do it, but only one of you has to, well, convert, so to speak. It's being...
I have a question.
God of chairs. You can summon chairs underneath you when you sit down. Isn't that delightful?
Quick question.
Yes, what is it?
Does it have to be one of us? Can we assist someone else in doing the trial?
Oh, certainly. There's some of my cultists that are a little bit on the
And are your followers allowed to be clerics?
Cultists, dear. Wait, are your followers allowed to what?
Are your followers, or cultists, as you call them, allowed to be clerics?
Well, they would get clerical powers.
Well, I have made this evil deal
I
with
have
the...
an idea then. What about that student council president? What was her name? The one who showed us to.
You're talking about Brenda.
Yes, Brenda.
She's trying so hard, and it's a delight to watch. She's putting in so much effort, walking around tired. I've been trying to speak into her mind and say, just relax, sit down, it's fine. But she's really putting in her go-getter spirit.
Well, she wants to be a cleric, and if we can convince her to become one of your followers and help her with the trial.
I think she's affiliated, but I'm down.
What do you
I
guys
could do it. I would do it.
You want to do it?
I would do it, except one thing. I also have to worship the sun. So if it was a sun chair, I'd be okay with it.
Oh, we can make it. We can do patio furniture, my friend.
Okay, sun chair it is. We're good.
And with that, she says, excellent. People don't do the trial much these days. I love watching it. Really, that's the bottom line here. I was mostly doing that for entertainment. So if you're going to do the trial, so it's been a touch. And she kind of puts her hand forward. Suddenly in space, a black circle appears. And then after a couple of moments out of it, 4 chairs just come kind of floating out in a perfectly straight line, and all of them have skeletons currently sitting in them. And as soon as the chairs kind of come to a rest, the skeletons just clatter to the ground as bones. And she says, "This didn't go as well for the last group, but you are significant. You're Bartholomew's adventurers. You are that, right?"
Yes.
I've met some of you before. Great. You'll be fine.
To make sure
Well, I'm already
you end up
sitting, so-
converting, we don't have to sit all the time, just some of the time, right?
Oh, this is a seated trial. And she kind of smiles as she points at the now 4 chairs that appear. Like I said, they're all kind of sitting in a straight line.
Well, I'm already in a chair, so...
There are kind of like metal... Oh, you're right. And she looks at you and just... You find yourself freed from the grips of your chair. And she looks at you. There's actually these chairs. They have like kind of metal lap bars that seem to come over your heads and lock you in. You just have to come out back to here once the little kind of runs. These are just going to kind of move around a little bit and go through some spots and spaces, and then you just come back around here and we'll consider it done.
Like a roller coaster.
I'm not familiar with the term, but if I was, maybe I'd agree.
Oh, okay.
I still think we should get Betty to do this.
What?
I'm already ready to go. Come on, let's do it.
It's not even a name.
Neil's on the chairs.
Which chair do you want?
The one on the right. I guess there's 4 of them.
They're all in the straight line. So.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, a vertical, like so there's front to back would be the question.
Ooh. Front.
You want to be front and center. All right.
I'll take the back one.
All right, Droglar hops in the back. Lana?
I guess second.
second place, and third, but last but not least, in the third chair, we have Frostbyte, I assume.
Yeah.
And she goes, wonderful. Just bring the lap bar down over you. And she kind of does the hand motion a couple times.
Okay, no problem.
Bring it down, and we'll send
Grabs
you
it with my thorn whip and pulls it down.
Rad. Very stylish. She goes, ooh, stylish. And drags it down over you, and all of you do this in time. You get the lap, it locks in place, seemingly. And she goes, all right, have fun. And you begin. The chairs that you're in begin to move, and as you're kind of continuing, she goes, I recommend as you continue to make sure you keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle as best you can at all times. And that kind of black circle that opened up that it came from opens up now in front of you, and the chairs just begin moving by natural force forward and into this kind of darkened space. And for a moment, it is completely pitch black as you continue forward here, and you find yourself just in complete silence. And then all of the chairs kind of begin like turning as it seems to like round a corner on an invisible track, and in front of you, you can see what appears to be a kind of a green light emanating from another circle. And above the kind of circle, you can see like illusory words that are just kind of floating there in the space. And just above it, it says, Sit's Apprenticeship Trial, Phase 1, The Abyss. Is there anything you would like to do as your chairs creep closer to this portal?
Frostbyte puts on his blindfold of shadows.
I'm gonna light the chair. Just, it's now lit up.
All right, you cast the light spell upon your chair. It glows brilliantly in the darkness. You guys are able to now kind of see around you a little bit clearer, at least each other, as you're getting closer and closer to this green kind of portal moving forward. What would the rest of you like to do? Anything to prepare?
Frostbyte puts on his blindfold.
All right, and hearing nothing else,
I guess I'll grab my short bow.
Oh, you take out the short bow and get ready to aim, and
I'll hold an action to put my arms up because roller coaster.
And your action is decidedly appropriate. As you kind of come out, the kind of tracks beneath you begin to hear sort of a sound, and yeah, now as you come out, the chairs underneath you seem to have wheels on them, and there's almost immediately a straight down vertical drop as you begin kind of cruising down into this terrifying space that you see. Around you, you can just see what looks like an array of minecart wheels that are minecart tracks that are arranged in like looping and kind of strange configurations. You dive down onto the tracks, and immediately it pulls up and spins you around into a loop and kind of some sideways corkscrews until you finally even out as you're moving at an incredible speed. It's a moment of just like confusion and chaos, and as you take in your surroundings, the space that you're in looks absolutely terrifying. You can see great, like what looks like a great volcano spewing like green smoke and flame, just flying through the skies and cackling. You can hear the sounds of like a terrible like demons and the cries of fiends about. And the next thing that you kind of hear is laughter. As coming up on a track, you kind of continue along, and some of the tracks that are nearby you seem to be converging towards your space, as it looks like there are tracks that run parallel in threes, and you can also see two train cars that are loaded with demons that are kind of moving towards you on their own roller coasters. I'd like you all to roll for initiative.
Okay. Woo!
Ah, diggity.
All right. In that case, the first to act is you, Lana. You can see now on these kind of strange tracks around you, there are like just these like terrifying looking demons. They have almost like pig-like faces, but they seem to be like almost drooping off. The skin is like sagging off of their forms, and they're kind of looking at you like brandishing like clubs and things as you get closer. What would you like to do, Lana? The tracks are going to be nearing coming in parallel, where you could even melee these guys if you want.
Are these guys strapped down to the carts like we are?
Yeah, they seem to be locked into carts too, and they're like they're holding like spiked bats and like fearsome-looking claws off to the side, getting ready to like rake at you guys as your carts come into parallel.
Does it look like they could be dislodged from the...
Their carts? I mean, they're pretty well on there, but you could try it, certainly. Their carts are a little bit different than the chairs that you guys are locked into. Theirs are more like mine carts that are just rolling along this path. So they're individual, for one thing. So you could try and, like, knock one off.
I think I'll go for that. Just take my great axe and take a swing and see if I can't kick it off the...
All right, go ahead and make me a strength check. I think this is more of a shove action than it is a attack roll. Strength, okay, 19. Woof. This guy's going to contest with his own strength. 2. You watch as one of these pig creatures that's on a cart nearby you kind of leans in as you go and tries to like knock your hand away as you're trying to push it, but this thing is significantly weaker than you. And as you do this, the cart just tips a little bit to the side, it comes back, you shove it one more time, and the cart goes flying off, and that particular creature kind of falls and tumbles off the track and into the terrible kind of depths below. As you have defeated one of these guys. Anything else you want to do on your turn? Lana.
Not at the moment.
All right. In that case, that's going to bring us next in initiative to Droglar. All said and done, currently you can see there are tracks all around you that aren't currently being occupied, but there are 5 more of these things that are running on tracks parallel to the track that you're on.
Am I within melee with any of them?
Yeah, absolutely. There's one right to your side that's kind of like come up and is bearing claws at you threateningly.
I'll swing at the biggest one that I can reach.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll. 24 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage on that. All right, 15 magical slashing damage, and that dretch is downed in a single powerful strike. Your greatsword comes and cuts clean through the form of it, and now there's just a minecart that's rolling on the track that just has half of a dead dretch in it. Anything else on your turn, Droglar? Pretty good turn.
Any others in melee?
You could get one. It's a little bit close. You could get one more that was on a cart nearby.
I'll reach out and try to slash them.
All right. Do you have extra attack?
I do have extra attack.
Oh man. Go ahead and roll damage on that. 10 points of magical slashing damage as you cut across and cleave through. Another dretch is swiftly dealt with here in this moment. Anything else?
That'll do it.
All right. That's going to bring us next to from above you, these tracks are crisscrossing in all different places, and you can see another cart that is kind of ducking by on top of where you are, and from that you can see a much different looking demon than these like pig-faced monsters that you're seeing here. It's got kind of an elongated, almost think the movie Alien, that kind of long head that rears back, and terrible teeth that it's kind of gnashing at you, and it's going to take a spear that it's holding and throw it. It's actually got a whole bunch of these things, it appears like, in the cart that you can see like sticking up that they're in, but they're rolling on the track above you. And they're going to throw a spear down at you, Sunny.
Okay.
That's a 22 to hit. It's the 8.
Oh, ow, that hurts. 8, ooh, ow. I take the damage.
And then they're going to chuck another spear, and they're going to chuck
Hold
one.
on, friend.
Oh.
Chill out, friendo. Oops.
What is 60 feet? Yeah, absolutely. All right. They're gonna make a dexterity saving throw. They're pretty good at those. Barely good enough. Do they take half damage?
Yes.
So what is the total there?
That would be 25.
Yes, it would be halved to 12 points of fire damage. As soon as the damage kind of reflects back at them, they explode in kind of a bout of flame. And as they do so, they still seem... They kind of shrug the damage off to a certain extent. It looks like fire is not the most effective tool against this particular individual. But he still takes some damage. As he was going to throw another spear... He was going to throw another spear at Frostbyte, but I think in light of what you have done, he's going to toss a spear at you again. It's a 24, hitting you for another 5 points of piercing damage. And then, as this creature's kind of looking down, it's a little bit above you, and Droglar, it looks and kind of makes eye contact with you. I would like you to make me a Constitution saving throw. Nothing. As this creature stares deeply at you, for a brief moment you just feel a fatigue overcome you, but you shrug it off and keep yourself in the moment unaffected by whatever strange effect you were attempted to be placed under. As we move next in initiative 2, I believe it was Sunny next?
Yes, I have +3 to my initiative.
Wait, I'm sorry, no, it was Dandari.
Oh, Dandari.
Frostbite.
Yeah, Frostbite.
And then you're next, Sunny.
Yeah.
Frostbite, what do you think?
Frostbite is going to use Ray of Frost on the demon who just attacked.
All right, go ahead and the one that's kind of hovering above you a little bit.
Yeah.
A critical 26 will hit. You have disadvantage on everything, and everything has disadvantage against you, so it's all netting to 0 right now, because you guys are like restrained by the cart, but they're also restrained by their carts. So the Ray of Frost flies upward, just letting you know for reference in future situations. I'm just negating it right now. You take 22 points of cold damage. The creature takes. It also seems to have resistances to cold as well, as the damage kind of courses over it. Kind of like gets a bit of a chill, even despite its natural resistance to it. It's a powerful strike. You catch it right in the head, and the creature kind of reels back and kind of takes a little bit more cover in the cart. Anything else on your turn, Frostbite?
No.
All right, V-Bunny. What's Sunny do?
First off, chill out, friend. We're gonna just hex you and just make you hex the guy on top of me. He's no longer strong. He's not strong no more.
All right, disadvantage on strength checks.
Yep.
All right. What else you got?
Okay.
Ooh. 18 to hit. 18 is going to hit, and you pull and kind of drag onto him, and as you do so, you can kind of feel yourself being stopped. It looks like he is also kind of locked into the cart, but I would like you to just make me. I would like you to make me a spell ability check. Because he's locked into the cart, but the cart's not locked into the track. So this is just how much like raw magical strength to see if you can actually pull the whole cart with him off of the track.
Okay, that would be...
And you hit him for the damage, so also roll damage.
Okay, so that would be charisma. So let's see. 13.
Not quite gonna do it. You kind of, the cart kind of gets a little bit thrown off kilter, but it doesn't completely fly off. But regardless, he does take the full 14 points of damage, as the kind of, or actually the 6 of that is fire damage. So he's going to take 11 points of damage as the thorns whip up and kind of almost drag him off of the track, but not completely removing the cart. Anything else on your turn, Sunny? Did you count your damage from Hex?
Yes. Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah, don't forget that big Hex damage.
That's 3.
An extra 3 on top, as we move now in initiative to the Dretches. So 2 of them were already taken out. There's 4 more, 2 on each side, that are kind of rolling in carts, and they move up to the side. And I think one's just going to go after each and one of you, are going to get a claw attack from these directions. I'm sorry, a bite and a claw attack, as they're just kind of like leaning out of their carts, just slobbering on you. So this first one is going to be, that one is against, I'm just going left to right. That's Droglar, 16 and 19.
Both miss.
This one's Frostbyte, 16 and a 4.
Hit.
16 hits.
Yeah.
Okay. 4 points of piercing damage. Next one is Lana. That is a 5 and a 5. I don't think that gets you. And Sunny, it's a 12 and a critical failure. 12.
No.
12
No.
misses. They go to slash in, and they're just kind of slobbering as they're trying to grab onto you in this nightmare roller coaster.
Hold on, I forgot to mention bees.
These creatures are actually seemingly immune to poison damage, as Dretches are immune to poison damage. So the bees are just kind of swarming around and stinging them, and they're just continuing to like awkwardly lash out over the tracks at you. As we move to the top of the initiative, Lana, what would you like to do?
That one that was tussling javelins is above us, right?
Yeah.
How far above us?
20 feet up. On a track kind of suspended above you.
Alright, I'm going to pop my rage and take my great axe and swing at the nearest
Absolutely. You enter into a terrifying rage, and go ahead and make me an attack roll. 10 is... Does that actually hit these guys? 10 just misses. As you go and kind of swipe at one of them, their cart, it's not you, it's just the cart kind of moves and just turns in such a way as it ducks down a little bit before picking back up, and the swing just goes right over their head from where they were a second before. Anything else on your turn, Lana?
That's it.
As we move next in the order to you, Droglar. What would you like to do, Droglar?
Let's keep doing what we're doing. I'll splatter some more Dretches.
There's 2 on your side, and then you're kind of out of Dretches on your side. Or I guess you're on both sides.
I have 2 attacks.
Never mind. Got confused about my own layout. Yep, that's gonna hit, and that's gonna hit. Rolled 2 damages. Based on past experiences, you kill 2 Dretches. Which ones do you want to go for, right or left?
I'll go with the 2 closest to me.
Let's do 1 and 1. Okay, yeah, so that'd be
The back
left
one
side.
on left.
Oh yeah, you'd have to do the one on the back on the left and the one on the back on the right. Anyway, you do that. 2 kind of swift swings, and only the 2 that are near the front 2 carts are still remaining as your greatsword cuts and cuts. 2 more Dretches down. You watch as these ones kind of follow their mine carts, just kind of slowly stop. Anything else on your turn?
That'll do it.
The bow up in the cart above you, this creature kind of looks down to you, Droglar, and points at You don't perchance speak Abyssal, do you?
I speak Common and Nordic.
They speak a word at you that you know isn't a pleasant word, as you just hear, and they hold their hand out, and all of a sudden you begin to feel something very hot, as the metal bar that's kind of locking you in, heats up as per the heat metal spell. Which, for some reason, it won't let me show, but heat metal is cast upon you. Why won't this work? Roll20 is being real cruel to me tonight. You of course are familiar with heat metal, though, Lance. Your bar is affected by heat metal, and then he kind of just ducks down and just takes full cover inside of the minecart above you guys. Oh. There it is. Jeremy's got it coming up here. Thank you. And that is all for his turn. And
he has full cover, or yeah.
He's in total cover right now because he's ducked into the cart. I mean, the cart doesn't have cover, but he does.
I understand this. That was my question. Thank you.
You immediately take 11 fire damage, Droglar.
Oh man, that's no save. Oh my.
Yeah, there's no save on that one. You're not holding an object, so you don't have to drop it, but yep, you just take that. Anything else on his turn? Nope. That's gonna bring us around to Frostbyte. What do you want to do?
What am I going to do? Against the bow, I will do level 3 magic missile.
You have to be able to see the target, and he's done the thing.
Then I will do it against the
one of the dredges.
Yeah, the dredges.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and you already rolled it up. Roll all of them. That's not all of them. Yeah.
I know that's just the first one, and then 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oof. Yeah, that dredge is no more. As just a torrent of magic missiles, he goes as each of them hits him in turn. I think I added a couple of extra in there, but he still does that and then tumbles out of the cart into the abyss below. Anything else on your turn, Frostbyte? But one of these fools remains.
No.
In that case, that's going to bring us next to Sunny. What do you want to do, Sunny?
Okay, so the Babao is currently hexed, right? So he's just gonna take 3 psychic damage just because I can do it.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
They just take it.
You hear in the cart above.
Okay, and now that I see that I'm gonna attack the cart.
16 is gonna hit. And,
the cart gets rolled.
As you go and try and drag the cart, I need you once again to make me that spell casting check in place of the strength check necessarily to knock a cart off the track. Oh no! You go and pull the cart. You've hit the cart kind of twice now, so the cart's starting to take like damage. You can see like one of the wheels is starting to get a little shaky on it, and it's moving not as smoothly. But just for a brief second, a head kind of pops up, and it just kind of like looks out at you and just spits into the air. I hope I can just spit on my camera like an idiot.
Oh no!
It spits into the air, which obviously does not go anywhere near you because you're moving at a very fast speed, and then ducks back down into the cart. Anything else on your turn, Sunny?
No, that's it for now.
All right. Next in initiative is the top, which is you, Lana. There's one of these fools left on the ground, and there's also the one above you.
Can I get a concentration check on that heat?
You right. Oh no, the Babao loses heat metal. Good job calling me on that.
Sunny's awesome.
To be honest.
All right, I'll use my Storm Aura on the dredge next to us.
All right. It's going to make a dexterity saving throw. All right, right. It fails because it's in a cart, and it's basically restrained. Actually, I think it just has disadvantage in that situation. So it has disadvantage on this.
So it's 2 lightning damage.
I believe restrained is disadvantage. So that's going to fail. So you take 2 points of lightning damage.
Hit 13. And then I'm going to use my short bow and fire into the cart.
Okay. The cart above, you'd just be shooting at the bottom of the cart. You're just trying to damage the cart more?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll. 8, unfortunately, is going to miss. The arrow kind of, you're trying to calculate for the movement of the cart and the movement of the one above, and it flies up into the air and past. Anything else on your turn?
Nope, that's it.
All right, that's going to move us around to Droglar.
Nothing
There's one of
else
these
in
stretches
melee.
left, but everything's out of your melee now.
Ah, rats. Well, I guess I'll wiggle around a bit and huck a javelin up at the cart, the bow, that guy.
All right. Go ahead and make an attack roll. 18 is going to hit. Roll damage on that. 8. The cart is getting really kind of rickety and wobbly at this point, and the bow inside seems nervous.
You better.
Oof. All right, the 9 is going to miss as it whizzes past in the air, and I believe that's going to bring us around to the bow's turn. Correct? Did you have anything else, Droglar?
That'll do it here.
The bow is going to. The bow is going to take 2 more javelins and chuck them straight down at. They're going to go after you again, Droglar, as they're going to take 2 attacks against you. 17?
Double miss.
Double miss. And then, Lana, I would like you to make me a Constitution saving throw. No dice. As once again they try to use their weakening gaze, they duck back down into the cart again, taking as much cover as they possibly can. We moved next to Sunny. I'm sorry, no, Frostbyte. I'm getting that mixed up. There's 1 dretch remaining and the bow.
Can I see the dretch?
Yeah.
Alright, I am going to magic missile the stretch.
All right. The dretch almost inevitably dies, but go ahead and roll it.
Alright.
They don't have a ton of health.
Bam. Bam. Bam.
Yeah, that's definitely going to do it. Clinched it on the 5, and you fire the magic missiles forward, and they... And the dretch falls. Only the bow remains. Anything else on your turn?
No.
Sonny.
Okay, Babao. I've had enough of you.
So he just takes psychic.
He takes 3 points of psychic damage. You hear once again from inside the cart, just like...
No!
And then, oh no, your thorn whip, you go to try and take out the cart, finishing it off. But alas, as you go to do so, the damage does not connect and the thorn whip just kind of hits the track above. Anything else on your turn, Sonny?
No, that's it.
All right, that brings us around to top. Lana, there's just the cart.
The only thing I can really reach with it is my short bow, so...
Yeah, bring it out. That hits, roll damage. Lana, you take a moment and aim as best you can. The rage doesn't apply, but 7's enough anyway. You take a moment and aim, and just a precise arrow flies and catches right about the joint on one of the wheels that were already creaking, and the cart goes tumbling off the rails. The bow goes like flying into the air, and you see, as they kind of are falling down into the depths of the abyss, they kind of catch themselves and begin floating with a levitate spell. But by this time, at the rate at which your carts are moving through this maddening track, they're left far in the distance as they wave their fist angrily at
Hold
you.
on, wait a sec.
And once again, just You hear in the distance another just like, God damn it, is what basically this Babao seems to be saying, as they're definitely getting frustrated. And your chairs race ever onward through the abyss. And as you're continuing, you can now see looming ahead of you what appears to be another portal, and behind it you can see an incredible red, brilliant red light that seems to be glowing from it. And as you continue to it, it just says, Part 2, Elemental Plane of Fire. Oop. And your carts kind of continue forward and move now into this kind of space. And as you do so, you kind of come out, and the cart is just moving on your chairs are just moving in a straight line, very high up above a city of incredible, like, splendor and, like, machinations that you can see below you. And you can see up ahead, there's another kind of steep, spiraling drop that's going to kind of be corkscrewing you down through and into the center of this city. As you get closer and kind of closer to this point, I would like all of you to make me perception checks. All right. Frostbyte, you have the keenest eyes here, and you're able to see a number of things. It looks like this point in the track, it looks like there are just like a number of just spinning like axe blades that are just kind of coming across right at the area where the tracks are, and they're in kind of like they're in this kind of like maddening sequence of kind of running in a row up in front of you, designed to just hit every single like spot on the cart in kind of succession. And that is the kind of space that you're coming into right now. There are a number of different kind of like deadly looking traps up ahead. You guys all pretty much make out this with your incredible perception rolls across the boards.
What is the distance of this trap area?
The distance until you get to that point?
No, like the distance of how long the traps are.
That first chunk with all of those axes, it's only a stretch of maybe 30 feet.
No, like all of the traps. Is it like 60 feet, or is it 30 feet, or is it like...
They're like spread out throughout a sprawling cart that goes throughout the space. So they're like, there's different traps, different spots, but there's like those saw blades, which are the first, or those big axe blades, which are the kind of first segment. But further up ahead, you can see what looks like a terrible like flame jet that's even kind of further along. Then that's like another like 300 feet past along the track, you know? They're not all in one big pile, yeah. So what do you all want to do as you get, as the track and cart move ever and ever closer? You're kind of still just moving along the straight line, getting closer, but you guys are just right now on the precipice of this downward spiral into this terrible, these just like deadly saws. All right, you take a moment and heal yourself and regain 10 points of life. Anyone else?
Frostbyte is good for right now.
All right. In that case, Droglar, Lana, anything you want to do?
Do the blades look like they're, decapitation style blades, or blades that come down into the...
They're looking like they're coming down at you sideways. Like they're trying to slice, they're more trying to fillet you than they are decapitate you.
So kind of like a guillotine?
No, that would be the decapitate way. They want to cut you in half, but this way. I did a motion with my hand as if parallel to your body, as it's facing forward vertically, for lack of... That's the best way I can describe it. But
straight down instead of head.
Yeah, they want to fillet you. Is the look of the angle of these blades are coming in on. You could avoid it by shifting forward or like pulling back would be like the best way to describe how one might get out of the way. But you're coming onto these, and now as you guys are kind of deliberating and thinking about this, the cart continues twisting downwards and begins this maddening spiral. And you guys are 2 rounds from reaching this point. Is there anything that you guys want to do, or are you just getting ready to dodge?
Sure.
Dodge the best of your ability.
I'm gonna make it.
Somewhere in the abyss, up a bow cries.
And then you said move forward or backwards, so I'm gonna go backwards, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it would just be kind of a dex save unless you have another way to kind of get around this. Anyone else?
Oh, forward. Oh, I do have a way of getting around this.
Okay, cool. All right, hearing nothing.
I'll take the dodge action.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I assume you're going to just do your best on this one as it's coming in. But you would have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws from being restrained, so you just can try and dodge since you're preparing yourself. And I assume all of you are doing that to an extent.
Oh. No, I'm not going to do that. No, I have a better plan.
All right. As you get closer, yeah, you guys are right on the precipice of these axes. What do you want to do? We'll go front to cart to back. So I believe, Sonny, you were right in the front, weren't you?
I'm gonna thunderstep.
Okay. As you go to thunderstep, you find that the safety harness prevents you from moving. As soon as
Wouldn't
you
it move
do,
the whole thing? Because it.
no. As soon as you go to thunderstep, you just see that there's an enchantment on the seatbelt, and you find out, perhaps a touch late, that these things are magically keeping you enchanted and seated. As Sit said, please remain seated in the vehicle at all times. And there's an explosion from the ground in front of you. The radius is not enough because the chairs have enough separation to not hit your allies with this. But as you go to thunderstep away, you are now staring dead on face to face with an axe that's about to come down to you. As it does, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw. I'm sorry, the spell fails on that one. Let me try the enchantment here. It's gonna cut. I need everyone to, unless they have an action they want to take, to make dexterity saving throws.
I would like to cast Gaseous Form.
Gaseous form. All right. I still need you to make a dexterity saving throw, but I believe that gives you resistance to piercing and bludgeoning damage, right?
Can I attack the axe and try to
You can
break
try
it?
and like knock it back and kind of slam it
I
out of
have
the way.
resistance to
All right.
non-magical damage. So,
So go ahead and make me a dexterity saving throw.
all right.
As you become gaseous, you find that the gas is still kind of like fixed within the cart, but also it's good to be gas. It's a much better situation to be in than being flesh. Droglar, what are you doing?
I'm trying to smash the axe.
You're just trying to basically counter the axe as it comes down and like knock it to the side.
All I'm saying is swords are better than axes.
Go ahead and make an attack roll. Alas, rough rolls around on this one so far. You go and try and knock it aside. Lana, you got anything? You got any moves?
I was actually thinking about doing the thing.
All right, give it a shot. Make an attack roll. 17. All right, Lana. As your axe comes in, you kind of batter it away and kind of push it to the side. But everyone else... actually not that bad. Could have been very bad, but it was not. Everyone else takes 6 points of slashing damage as these axes weave through and leave kind of gashes on each of your forms. You take half of that as a cloud. So you only take 3 DnDTime. The cart races ever on, and it's now coming towards. You can see another portal leading forward. And there is, it seems to be entrenched in, as I described, this kind of elaborate city that you are moving down forward into. You can see like what looks like a bunch of genies and stuff looking at you as you're going by, looking confused, and as you continue to kind of push through the elemental plane of fire, there is another portal that's kind of ledged in the entrance into like an old building, it looks like, and leading right into that, you can see a massive creature, dragon-like, but standing on two legs that's kind of hunched over, and it's just breathing fire onto the path in front of you. Creating just a near endless like torrent of flame that's just kind of pouring out.
Is it living or mechanical?
Tough to say from here.
Okay.
Make a perception check, Lana. As you're looking at this creature, they appear to be a living thing, but the source of the flame actually appears to be mechanical. They're like leaning over, but they're actually like just holding like a flame jet in place near them, is the impression that you get. As they're watching and waiting for you to come up. So, you guys are 2 rounds away from kind of reaching this point. Is there anything that you would like to do? We'll just go front to back again. Sunny, what would you like to do?
Okay. Don't do that. Don't burn us with fire.
All right, it's gonna make a wisdom save. You got me with that one. Wisdom save?
Yeah.
What's your safety save?
Failure. DC 14.
All right. He looks at you as you're getting kind of closer, and just for some time seems to think a bit, and then the flame jet just kind of goes. He just kind of like nods, and then the flame jet pushes to the side.
Okay.
You guys are good, it seems. Anyone else have anything you want to do?
Well, if we're good, I don't need to do my plan.
All right. In that case, you guys continue racing forward, and now in front of you, you can see another portal that seems to say above it, Part 3, Pandemonium. Is there anything you guys like to do before you go this way?
Yes. We're gonna kill this guy.
This guy that's like leaning over?
No. Where's?
I think you don't know what happened to him, but I think this is the point. Actually, the concentration on that hex ends with the suggestion.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So somewhere he laughs like, haha, he stopped concentrating. Now I'll hunt him down in a future adventure. And
then he loses concentration from laughing and falls into the abyss.
Oh god, yeah.
A recurring villain has been born in this one. And you guys zip onwards and through into Pandemonium. And this like giant, almost salamander, draconic looking creature that's kind of leaning down over you. As you guys go by, he just kind of jumps down and catches onto the back cart on the train here, which was, I believe, you, Droglar. And is just kind of, he's got like a very firm grip on it. His claws seem to be well kind of made up for climbing. And this massive salamander creature is now like hovering over you as you move into Pandemonium, Droglar.
It lives up to its name.
All right. Before you can see what looks like just an endless corkscrew that you're about to move forward and into what looks like another one of those black portals, the same one that you first entered when you arrived. And I would like you all to roll for initiative. I was like, oh man, we might finally have a chance. Alas. Sunny, you're the first to act. Droglar, do you like say anything? This was pretty silent, and you guys have a lot to look at in front of you as you move into Pandemonium. A great black void with lightning and meteors and fire and ice that just seem to rattle around chaotically through the space.
Hey, can you not?
Not what? There's a guy? Oh, there's a thing. Oh. Okay. I gotcha, buddy.
What's the range? How far away is he roughly?
To the back of the cart, it's 5 feet between the cars, so about 20. No, wait, about 40 feet actually.
Okay.
He's gonna make a next save. He has disadvantage. He fails. He takes 19 points of sacred flame damage as he erupts into flames.
That's great.
Anything
Yes.
else on your turn?
Who has taken a lot of damage? Anybody? Besides me?
Actually, Droglar has taken the most, but Droglar's a pretty tough boy.
I'm down by 10.
Well, then I guess I'm down by 9, so... Droglar is next to this guy, right?
Yeah, it's hanging on to Droglar, who's on the back car. It's hanging on to that chair.
Okay. Here you go, Droglar.
Thanks.
You get healed for 4.
All right. That's going to bring us next in initiative to Droglar. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna start smashing this boy.
All right, go ahead and make me an attack roll. And that's absolutely going to hit. Roll damage on that.
I'm guessing the fire does nothing, but that's still 3.
I'm sorry, you're actually at, oh wait, no, you're not, never mind. So yeah, the fire does no damage, unfortunately, but 16 magical slashing damage as you cleave across and heave a hearty blow into the kind of belly of this creature. Lets out like a terrible snarl, and kind of flames seem to shoot out of the wound. When you hit it with a melee attack while within 5 feet of it, as the flames blast out of the wound, you take 5 points of fire damage. Anything else on your turn, Droglar?
Whack him again.
All right, another hit. Oof.
I got rid of the fire, so it's just the cold.
And another. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize there was cold in the mix. How much cold was it last time?
3 cold.
3 cold. Okay, so, and another 3 cold now. And as you strike, you take another. Oh man, you take another 11 points of fire damage. But the cold damage in particular, you can see the wounds where he's like where the frost is really like overtaking this creature's body. It does not seem to like the cold, as it kind of is hissing in revulsion at that a little bit.
Hey, Frostbyte, this guy looks right up your alley. There's nothing big dangling in pandemonium that awaits us, is there?
There's a portal and a lot of like meteors and lightning bolts that are flying around.
I don't think I can
And
kill a light.
I was gonna say a big corkscrew.
Wait, a corkscrew in the track, or like
In the
a giant
track.
corkscrew, like a? Oh. Then in that case, I'll action surge and whack him 2 more times.
All right, go ahead and make 2 more attacks. Hit and hit. Oh no, devastating round on this poor soul. That's 13 points plus an additional 14 cold damage that he takes for 27 more. Oof. Heavy blows land now into this salamander as he's hissing and kind of getting pulled back. You take another. It's an interesting battle being waged here. You take another 16 fire damage. Where are you at, Droglar?
Left.
As we move next in initiative to Lana with a 3, coming in above 2 other people.
Most interesting initiative I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Are we at the corkscrew?
You're about to hit it. You're gonna be, and the next round you'll be in the corkscrew.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do it anyways. And rub my hands together and send out a.
Oh my god. Wait, Lana can cast Lightning Bolt?
Super Shock Bolt gauntlets.
I don't know what this is, but Jesus. Alright. Dexterity saving throw. You can, because the way they're like hovering over the cart, you can even not hit your allies here. So it's gonna make a dex save.
I just have to aim up a little bit.
Yeah. So that,
You need to do 12.
Definitely a fail. Roll that damage. 8d6. "22 points of lightning damage. It courses up and passes through the form of the creature, and as it does so, the creature kind of vibrates and is left panting. They are in rough shape. This creature is below bloodied at this point. As you hit it with another powerful lightning bolt, that is going to be all for your, I assume, Lana? Pretty good turn.
I'll throw up my rage again.
Alright, you once more into rage as we move Frostbyte. What do you wish to do?
Frostbite will cast the snowball spell on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
so
like
not snowball swarm.
you?
At level 3. Hello?
I was saying, what do?
Hello? Oh,
Can you,
hello?
He's saying, what does it do?
Oh.
Can you guys,
it's
am I quiet?
Yeah, you went
breaking
into robot voice.
Roboting
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, you were coming through robotically.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, so much snowball swarm. It's,
Dexterity saving throw.
yeah. Pelting with snowballs.
Okay. They're gonna succeed on their dex saves. However, I would. They're still gonna take. So basically, they just take full damage from this, which is, what is the total? 23 damage of cold.
Yeah.
23 cold damage as you just pelt this salamander with a barrage of snowballs. They kind of crash into him, each one kind of like sizzling and steaming off of their heated skin. They are in awful looking shape. Their joints are like barely able to move muscles as it passes finally to their turn, still hanging on barely after a terrible barrage. That's a rough natural one on that initiative. As they are going to, with a spear in one hand, stab down into you, Droglar.
Hey, they just.
So that's going to be, that's 14 to hit, plus an extra, or 14 damage plus 6 points of fire damage. That's 20.
Oof, that's pretty nasty.
Are you downed?
Nah.
Wait, really? I thought you only had 11 health left.
Oh, I didn't have 11 health left, but you forget I'm a half orc.
Oh shit! Droglar, your relentless kicks in, and you have the tail. They attack you once. Oh shit! 3.
Yeah, I'm down.
All right. With that, Droglar falls to the back seat, and the salamander, which is in terrible shape, just kind of looks defeated. And you see it as you guys are kind of like looking back over your chairs. You just see it drop down behind you. But as they do so, they just kind of like fall off. It's pandemonium, but for a brief moment, they catch on a lever that's kind of on the side of the chair that Droglar is in, and as they pull it downwards, all of your seat bars come up. Droglar is being pushed against the back of their seat currently, centripetal force, but on coming corkscrew, that might get a little bit dicey. You guys know you have restraints, you can move freely. Salamander drops into Demonium final act.
Okay.
Bring us around to the top of the initiative. Sonny, what would you like to do? Droglar is just free hanging.
Oh no, that's terrible. Let's just pull that lever back.
Okay. You reach out, and does it have to be on a target that you can see?
No, it doesn't say that.
Are you sure? On the main spell? Not on that version?
I'm looking. Hold on, let me look at this.
Because it's on the back of the chair, so.
One creature or object, make a melee attack. On a hit, the target takes 1d6.
Okay.
If it is larger or smaller.
It's weird because it's like you're in the front of the cart and it's 40 feet to the back of the cart anyway, so it's out of range. So it's aside the point.
I can move, right?
Oh yeah, you
move
can
and then pull
you
it.
want to jump out and try and make like an acrobatic leap onto the cart behind you?
Well, yeah, let's do that.
All right, go ahead and make me an acrobatics check.
If not, I'll just grab onto it anyway with the thorn whip. But
All right.
there we go. Acrobatics, right?
Yep. Absolutely. Sonny, you don't even leap onto the start behind you. Sonny, you just barrel roll. You just kind of like barrel roll out of your chair, let the cart zoom by you, thorn whip onto the lever onto the back, and drag yourself forward back using your thorn whip, pulling up the lever, and locking all of the seat belts back down onto your party. One issue with this is that you are now out of your seat. However, Droglar is safe, and your party members are also safe. You're sitting in Droglar's chair, who's dying.
Oh no, he's not. Because I didn't tell you what my bonus action is.
I suspected what your bonus action might be. Sonny, sick turn as we move next in initiative. And now you are the one that is in the most danger as you're just kind of standing on Droglar. Droglar, you're up. Sonny is holding on for dear life. And that's gonna bring us to Sword. Oh, I'm sorry, Droglar, actually. It's your turn, Droglar. What would you like to do?
I
about
would
to hit a
like
bad
to
corkscrew.
grapple Sunny.
Please do.
All right, you just hold on to Sonny. Basically, I think this is you just like helping Sonny in their strength save to, or you're basically. I'll let you make your own discreet check to try and hold on to Sonny if Sonny's gonna get thrown away. So you'll get to make a strength save for Sonny as well. As we move next in initiative 2, that's gonna be Sword. What do you want to do, Lana? Lana?
I'm looking. I don't think there's much I can do.
You're back safe again, but your ally Sonny is in a lot of danger.
Yeah, I'm afraid I don't really have anything to help him with, though.
All right, you just waiting?
Croggen's tongue, but I think that's not gonna do me any.
You can hold an action to Groggen's tongue if he does fall.
It can only support 10 pounds.
How much does a flower weigh?
Probably a lot in equipment. Is
Oof.
the answer. With more than 10 pounds.
Not to mention, Sunny's a large flower.
All right. If you also you're holding your action, if you have an idea in the moment, Lana, I'll let you use it if it comes to it. But for now, just hold as we move to Frostbyte.
Actually, no, I do have some rope on me. I do have rope on me.
All right, you just throwing a rope back and just anything to add onto the pile. All right,
Yeah, I'll tether it to him and let Sunny tie herself to the chair.
Great. So you let the rope kind of flow backwards and another kind of point to hold on to if need be. Frostbyte, you got any moves? Or you just gearing yourself up for a ride?
I'm just gonna gear myself up for a ride.
In that case, the roller coaster hits the spiral and begins turning and turning in a maddening spin. Sunny, you're holding on as best you can, but you're just being flung around back and forth. Droglar's holding on to you. And you're making a strength saving throw with advantage from the rope from Lana with the help action.
18!
And then, Droglar, I'd also like you to make me just a strength save straight up. 14? Okay, between the two of you, you feel yourself like, at one point, Sunny, you completely fly out, but Lana's rope, you kind of grab onto it, and then as this centripetal force kind of brings you back down, Droglar just hugs onto you and holds you in. And as you kind of reach this point, the corkscrew ends and you're moving at a breakneck speed. You're just being thrown against the back of the cart. I need you to make me one more strike saving throw.
Okay.
Just straight up.
No!
As you're kind of getting closer and closer to this dark black portal, the same one that you entered through, it's getting closer and closer and racing faster and faster, and then all of a sudden just it stops. And Sunny, you get slammed into the back of the chair in front of you. You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage as the cart abruptly stops, and then you land on a small platform as the chairs are now moving forward very slowly. You could very easily hop into your chair again if you would like.
Oh, I'd love to do that, yeah.
Okay. And with that, your wild ride seems to come to an end. You move back into just this space of darkness. I imagine you make your chair glow once again, and then another portal opens up, and you can see the grove in which Sit left you, just sitting up ahead. You move back into the space, and as you come back, you hear, That was wonderful. That was so cool. The part I really liked, okay, there was a lot of great parts, but like Lana at the beginning, you just immediately just threw that one off the rails and they went flying. And then there was the part where you did the whole, oh my goodness, Sunny, that was amazing. Good work, all of you. You did it.
Great.
How do you all feel?
It was an interesting ride.
That's
to say the
great.
least.
I am going to now. Well, I believe that if any of you wish, of course, you're all welcome into my open arms, and will reward you with an incredibly powerful chair-based ability, which I'd be happy to give any of you now if you want to convert.
Yes.
Okay,
I've never
Thank
killed
you.
that many people sitting. I'm in.
Excellent. You. Anyone else?
Why not?
I'll pass for now.
That's 3, all right. Well, allow me at least, and looks at you, Lana. We'll talk in a moment. But for the 3 of you, you've gained my boon. And she kind of waves her hand out towards you, and you've all gained the boon of sit. When you sit down, you have the power to conjure a chair of your choosing in shape and appearance underneath you. Additionally, Lana, she looks at you. Lana, if you're not going to take my blessing and boon, would you like a chair? I can make you a very nice chair.
I'm good, thank you. I travel around too much, really.
All right, well, that was a very fun afternoon for me. I hope that you... What did you guys think of the ride?
Needs more fire.
More fire? That's a good note.
Yes.
Yeah, you did make it very easy. I should not make that little station manned. I should just have that automatic. Why account for the human error on that? Thank you. Any other feedback?
Some lightning would be good. It's kind of like fire, but like
Yes,
wild.
I rely on the lightning of Pandemonium, but it's very hit or miss. It's just sort of random. So, good note as well.
Ooh, I got another
Need
one.
some frost sections.
Icy sections, more sections. That's good to know.
I got one. You need to just go through a field of just flowers. They're just pretty flowers. That's a good idea.
That seems not my style, but I'll keep it as a note.
Ooh,
If
should
you're
have
going to
really
let us
ominous
feel the
music
flowers, I
in
think
that
it should be the
field,
first
so they
one.
think
Gives
there's
people-
something bad going on.
That's actually pretty funny. I kind of like that. Well,
Yeah.
regardless, you are all now my servants except for you, and they're fine. And she kind of snaps her fingers. They're all standing again now, probably. They're able to get up. But I don't know, there's no cool, like, visual effect for it, but I've released them. So,
Thank you.
Picture didn't happen.
Be on my way. You'll have them at the academy, I assume, when you go back. And if you need anything from your goddess, I will be here.
Sitting.
See? She smiles. And with that, you eventually make your way back to the academy. You can see Brenda is just like laying on the, laying on the grass of the Academy of Light, exhausted. And there's a lot of students that are moving around, just kind of, sort of like cheering and celebrating being able to move once more. You have all successfully completed this adventure. Each of you is rewarded with your appropriate 200 Bartholomew bucks. The Dean owes you his eternal gratitude. 3 of you have gotten a cool chair boon. And that's going to be it for this adventure. Would any of you like to shop?
I would.
I would not.
Sword. Is Lana shopping for herself, or are you shopping for someone else?
I thought about doing the bag pull.
Very well. Jeremy, I no longer... Actually, you know what? I'll have it up in 2 seconds.
Don't tell me you changed it again.
I was closing things to make my internet work better, but I'll open this up now, and we'll have your item. Go ahead and roll me a D1000 while we're waiting. Bartholomew greets you. Lana, I wish you all the best of luck as you reach into the wondrous bag of holding. What was the number? I cannot see it at the present.
150.
150. All right. Oh, you're fine. You're in the uncommon. You can't have that one, unfortunately. But you reach into the bag, and as you pull out, your hand passes over first some type of plate, perhaps, and then a gemstone. But a solid piece of metal is what you end up gripping. And it appears to be, as you pull it out, a wrench. As you look up at it, it's got like adjustable kind of components on it, and Bartholomew goes, this was the Hextech repair wrench. It is an interesting little piece. You, of course, can hit people with it like it was a mace, but also, while you're holding it, you can cast the mending cantrip. Additionally, once per day while wielding it, you can cast the spiritual weapon spell. And when you do so, it takes the form of an immobile turret with 60 feet of range. Wow, that's way better than I would have thought that was going to be. And it uses intelligence. You get 1 spiritual weapon a day, and you can mending with this magic mace. It doesn't say it requires attunement on it, but that is an error. That is an attunement item. That is all for you, I assume. Anything else?
That's it.
I think that one might have been misplaced where it is in the bag. Next.
It could be hit or miss because it's a int-based weapon.
Yeah. And next up, you said you also wanted to grab something, Droglar?
That's the plan.
Droglar. I back for you as well.
Roger, it's been a long holiday season. I've been a little bit sauced for most of it. How's my account looking? Do I have enough for a bag?
Sure.
I'll take a bag full then.
The manner in which you said sure, that made it sound like you didn't actually know.
I know.
All right, roll a D1000.
I broke something.
Personally, I believe.
Just now's the time to ask for Bartholomew's choices, you guys. What's the roll? I can't see anything.
884.
Oh wow, a nice roll. All right. Boop. Why is it not doing the thing? Do the thing. Okay. You reach into the bag and you pull from within. Your hand passes over first what appears to be some type of small. It's just like a small statuette of something which you push aside, and then obviously a blade of some type. But you end up grasping at first. You're excited. You think maybe a crossbow, but it seems to be a more traditional longbow that you pull out, and maybe not. The design is decidedly elvish, so maybe not exactly what you were hoping for. But Bartholomew speaks up. Oh, these are relics of ancient traditions. This is called an oath bow. Are you familiar with the item?
I've heard of an oath axe. Is kind of like that, but a bow.
Sort of. It's a powerful bow that allow you to name one as your enemy, and then when you attack them, specifically against this individual, you gain additional, bonuses to your attacks as you swear to bring about the death of that enemy. It's a powerful relic of the elven people. And you've gained an oath bow, which are sick. If you don't know it, if you don't know about it, you pick a person, and then you have an advantage on attacks against them, and they take 3d6 extra damage from the bow hits. Jesus.
And you have advantage, so time to make an Elven Ranger and take Elven Accuracy and...
Now's the moment to make an Elven Ranger, indeed. All right. And does anyone else want to buy anything?
No, thanks.
Jeremy, let us to the outro screen.
Well, before we go, I was just going to say Lance, or you can give it to Plunder's character, and then he can have, the All Blade and an Oath Bow, and it'll be great.
I think Plunder's bow might actually top out the Oath Bow. It depends.
Oh, that's a tough one. Well, either way,
+4 to hit is pretty good.
We must. Away.
Here we are now upon the outro screen. A late first night.
Now we're on the outro screen.
Now we're on the outro screen. A late first night, but Jeremy, I wouldn't have it any other way.
It was a beautiful first night. It was in classic DnDTime fashion.
Indeed.
A wizard ends his show precisely when he desires. When he needs to. Whoops.